Joe, teams can't even do business yet. Baseball is still being played, and we already have the frontline story of the offseason.
I mean, when you have a certain agent that Tarik Skubal has, he's going to make sure he makes certain noise at certain times. The one thing I will say about that report is it's somewhat misleading, where they're talking about an offer that was made like a calendar year ago before
Yeah.
even Garrett Crochet was traded. So I am sure if the Tigers were to try to engage to extend Skubal now, their offer wouldn't be $150 million. Like, I don't think so. But at the end of the day, I do agree with the general premise that Skubal and Scott Boras will be seeking in the next year a 400 million or
Yep.
thereabouts record setting kind of contract. And when that comes about, it's unfortunate that we're having this conversation. Well, I guess unfortunate and fortunate, depending on how you look at it. Unfortunate that a team like the Tigers, who the net worth of their ownership is top 5 in the sport, and it's like a foregone conclusion that Skubal is not going to be a Tiger beyond 2026. But hey, if that benefits the Mets, I'm not going to be too mad about it.
And to be fair, it was not that long ago where it feels like there was a similar storyline with Vladdy Jr. and the Blue Jays,
True.
where it's there's reasons things like these come out, and it's tactics wisely. That's the job of an agent, to do best for the player. And, it kind of drums up interest without a player even being officially available. And when you look at the Blue Jays, I mean, that deal is as crazy as it gets, but the Blue Jays said, we got to keep this guy. We'll do everything we possibly can. I agree with you, Joe. This feels like a situation to me that the Tigers, say what you want about the length of contracts for pitchers, but this is one where, and I hate the excuse for any team, even if this was the Pirates, where there's going to be a conversation around the Pirates and Paul Skeens,
Yeah.
any team, but the Tigers especially, Joe. This is not the Pirates, the Rays, the Guardians. I mean, this is a team that should be able to keep a guy that is viewed as, at minimum, one of the best pitchers in the sport. When he's on his A game, you can make the argument he's the best. And to your point about that offer being a year old, yeah, a lot changes when you go from a 6.4 WAR season where you made 31 starts and a 2.39 ERA to a season where you follow it up with a 6.6 WAR. You made 31 starts again, and your ERA improved to 2.21. So I think with Skubal, it wasn't a, hey, he really did it for 1 year, because the seasons before that, both seasons before that, he didn't get to 30 starts. He had 15 and 21 in the seasons before that. Now he's done it twice in a row. It kind of changes everything, especially when it's your age 28 season. That, the Tigers, let's be fair to them here. And I like that you really gave that caveat. They are going to do better than what that offer was. It's just a matter of, because of who his agent is, how far do they want to take this? And I think the problem is that if you're the Tigers, it feels like a situation that it's really hard to just ride out the year, right? Because you're not that far from being a World Series level contender. There was a time this year where we felt like they were already there. But man, the value of Skubal for a team this winter compared to the value that'll lower at the trade deadline because he'd be a rental, then compared to where you let him walk and what do you get, a draft pick? I mean, Joe, that is like, we're at probably like his value is probably like a 9 out of 10 right now. And we're going to do a lot of trade packages today to kind of demonstrate that, not just for Skubal, but for a lot of players. The trade deadline, because he's a rental, but he's such a great player, maybe it's like a 6. Maybe.
Yeah.
And then after the season, it's nothing. There, you don't get anything. So this is a brutal situation. If he really wants to hit the open market that we think he might want to for the Tigers, and I agree, it's as much as we love him on the Mets, it also kind of makes you look at the sport and go, man, it's really a shame that these things happen so often the way they do.
Connor, anything I say right now can't and won't be used against me in a court of our upcoming mailbag. The reality here, and Corbin Burnes was an example of a high-end pitcher that was traded the year before his free agency, and that return was shockingly light. I think Skubal is going to get more in return than Burnes did. But I think there's a lot of things that have been thrown around. And man, with 1 year of control, as good as he is, it's still 1 year, and he's going to free agency. This isn't
That's the
you
problem.
trade for him and you may be able to convince him to sign with you. There's virtually nothing that you could do to convince. So I think if Skubal is traded, the return will not be nearly as heavy as you might think. Doesn't mean you're getting him for 2 bottom rung prospects. Like, you're going to give up some good stuff, but you're not paying what the quality of pitcher Tarik Skubal is. You're paying for the 1 year of control of a good pitcher. And so like I said, you can't use that against me, not allowed. But that's kind of how I look at it.